Dobar dan, Asita.
Good afternoon, everyone. Zdravo, Dejan. Hi, Visar.
How's it going? How are you, Stefan?
Great. Well, waiting for the other participants. I hope that you're ready. And I wanted to ask you how the app was going, but I think that we will hear about the app a bit later.
Yeah, for sure. How are you? How are everything's going in Macedonia?
Well, it's like in Kosovo as well. So it's very similar, you know. Numbers are rising, so everybody is just well, hopefully everybody is just waiting for this to end.
Yeah, man, for sure. This has become as a nightmare, you know.
Yeah.
It's just hope it ends one day and we'll come back to normality.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Are we able to come in Skopje, right?
Yes. Yeah. We talked with Mijan that we should make one more meeting, you know, just to see how things are going and maybe talk a little bit more about the future activities.
I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing whenever somebody calls my name, I'm here.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to interrupt. Hello, everyone.
Okay, we'll wait for 2 or 3 minutes more, just for participants to get involved and get engaged, basically, to join us, and then I will mute all of you, and then I'll start with the meeting. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Marie. It's been a long time. Glad to see you again.
It has been a long time. I'm happy to see you too. How are you doing?
Doing good, thanks. It's like all the world maybe in this weird times. For me, everything is weird, but surviving.
Yeah, I guess we had the discussion earlier today that this is all about surviving, right? It's
yeah. This year it's about surviving. But it makes you feel a bit better when you know that all the world is facing the same problem. Yeah, like, and it's not just with you or with your country.
That's true. That's true.
Hi, Elton.
Hi to all. How are you?
We are fine, man. Thanks. We need to talk more often. We lost touch with our Zoom meetings with everyone for our generation, you know, from Skype.
Actually, I'm at home and with COVID-19, right
Really?
now. Yes. So it's like the 7th day or.
Mm-hmm. And how are you feeling? Are you well?
A little bit temperature and those things that are typically, but good in general.
Yeah. It's interesting that how it's become a normal thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so a minute or two. We have now 15 participants, but we will wait for a minute or two for others to join as well, and then I'll mute everyone and just start with opening of the event. Hope that's okay. Because I see that more people are coming, are joining.
Hi,
Stefan.
That background of Lund
Hi.
University, Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show you some official background from.
Oh yeah, excellent. It looks good. It looks quite good.
Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you too.
I always choose when I'm attending online things to be next to my fridge, because like it makes me feel optimistic that soon I'm gonna fill it with more fridge magnets. I'm gonna travel and the world is going to get to the normal life as soon as possible. That's how I make myself think.
You look more international, Mijan.
Yeah, trying to. Let's be optimistic.
Okay, so now I'll mute all just to start with the opening of this event. Other participants can join during the event, so I can approve their participation. In the meantime, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for participating on the final event of the INNOVENT Building Bridges for Greater Impact project. It certainly was an interesting one. We had learned a lot from the experiences of the entrepreneurs and innovators. We interviewed more than 20 entrepreneurs and innovators from both countries, from Kosovo and North Macedonia. They shared their story with us, their business processes. We also had a few laughs with several of them, because bridging a challenge can be done in mysterious ways. You know, sometimes the solution is in front of you the whole time. Sometimes you have to work hard for it. And sometimes it's just a matter of being at the right place at the right time, when the preparation meets the opportunity, basically. So with this project, we have published 2 studies. So the first one is the Voices of Entrepreneurs and Innovators. It's a compendium of best practices, lessons learned, and role models. And the second is the COVID-19 effects on the work of entrepreneurs and innovators, as one of the trendy subjects today, the more contemporary subjects today. So our deepest gratitude to all the participants in these studies for their time and their effort. Without them, this would not have been possible. They present the future of entrepreneurship and innovation in both countries. But they are also, maybe more importantly, the representatives and advocates of entrepreneurial and innovators' mindset. This is what we need here. So we would like to thank also our partners, InnoActive Center for Social Improvement, the Swedish Institute, and Lund University for the support in this project. We certainly had a great understanding, given that we have bridged a pandemic. So we would like to also thank all of our collaborators that have helped in making of this project. And without all of you, the voices of entrepreneurs and innovators would not have been heard. So without further ado, I would like to open this event with the short addresses from our partners and collaborators. So today on this event, we have Jana Georginska, Communication and Cultural Affairs Officer, at the Embassy of Sweden. We have Marie Lovegren, a senior lecturer at the Sten K. Johnson Center for Entrepreneurship at Lund University. We have Andreas Bringilsson, project manager at the Lund University Commissioned Education. And we have also Mijan Kresnici, our partners, project manager at the Innovative Center for Social Improvement from Kosovo. And we also have 4 entrepreneurs and innovators from North Macedonia and Kosovo. So Sanja Mitrovska, the CEO of Networker, Natalia Burgieva, the CEO of Mama Organa, Arianit Slamniku, the CEO of Katundi Agrotourism, and Visar Kelmendi, the CEO of Green Energy Technologies and the Interview app. So thank you all again. And without further ado, as I said, without taking me too long to open this event, I would like to invite Jana Georginska from the embassy just to address the participants.
Hi.
Jana?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, good day to you all. Thank you for having us at this event. Allow me on behalf of the Embassy of Sweden to also welcome you to this event, which marks a finale of a project implemented by the alumni of the Swedish Institute Summer Academy for Young Professionals program as a follow-up to their training within the framework of the Academy. Allow me to thank all of you for taking the time to be part of this event, and also to thank Ms. Lovegren and Mr. Bringilsson also, and the Lund University for being here and for supporting the overall process. Innovation is high on the Swedish agenda. It is therefore no wonder that Sweden tops the Global Innovation Index for years now. And we're glad to see that those experiences with innovation, entrepreneurship, etc., can be and are shared with the youth all over the world. Continuous skills capacity building is a precondition for success. There's no doubt about it. Wouldn't you agree? The Swedish Institute program all over the world and here in the Western Balkans provide precisely that, skills and capacity building as well as networking. And as someone who works with the alumni, I would like to emphasize their importance in sharing the experiences and knowledge they have acquired with and within their environment, both professional and societal. They are drivers of progress. They can be and are bridge builders. And from what I've learned so far, this project has built solid bridges between entrepreneurs and innovators in the region, notably North Macedonia and Kosovo. As you could hear, I'm trying to highlight several things here: skills and capacity development, innovation, entrepreneurship, sharing experiences and knowledge, networking. And the Summer Academy for Young Professionals program and this project are doing precisely that. That is why we at the Embassy of Sweden are happy to be able to work with and support the alumni so that the positive experiences get passed on. But let me not take more of your time. Allow me to finish just by saying that I'm looking forward to learning more about the INNOVENT project from the presentations we'll have the opportunity to hear today. And of course, to meeting, albeit virtually, all of you today, as well as to encourage you to continue beyond the project timeline, to work together, support each other, to innovate together. And last but not least, I would like to convey the greetings from the ambassador, Madam Kristin Forsgren Bengtsson, who could unfortunately not attend, although she wanted to, because of previous arrangements and engagements she had. But she is supporting you and she's looking forward to hear from me what I've learned here, which I know is going to be a very good experience. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jana. It was quite an experience, and we had a great generation for the school for young professionals in Sweden. We had a great time, but also most importantly, we did network, and this is just the beginning. Basically, we are already in talks with our alumni from Albania and Montenegro to continue this project and to basically scale it up even further on Western Balkans. So thank you again. Now I would like to invite Miss Mari Lovegran, the senior lecturer at the Sten Johnson Center for Entrepreneurship at Lund University, to say a few words.
So starting to learn how to unmute in this pandemic situation. Okay, thank you, Stefan. I am Marie Löfgren, and as you said, I'm a senior lecturer at Sten Johnson Center for Entrepreneurship at Lund University, but I'm also the course director of the Swedish Institute Summer Academy for Young Professionals, which at this time is focused on innovation ecosystems and entrepreneurship. And I'm very pleased to take part in this event because it's one of the outputs of the Summer Academy of 2019, and a very good one too, to be honest. So thank you and congratulations, Stefan and Miriam, to your excellent work in this project. And as a matter of fact, this morning, I just finished off the 2020 version of the Summer Academy, although in November due to the pandemic and not that much physical networking either. So we had to do it all virtually, unfortunately, because it is not the same, to be honest. But this year too, there were some very interesting project ideas put forward by the participants. Some examples being an innovation mentorship program, a regional tech bootcamp, and also web-based support systems of different kinds. So I really hope that these ideas too will transfer into real projects because they all have the potential to make an impact in society. But although entrepreneurs may need some support to grow their businesses, and it's important to lower the barriers for people to engage in entrepreneurship, we also know that culture and attitudes play a great part for entrepreneurs to take place. So it needs to be a legitimized and accepted behavior in society and among your friends and your family too. So the perceptions and the attitudes towards entrepreneurships needs to be positive. It needs to be appreciated in society, and it needs to be looked upon as something desirable. People should actually strive to become entrepreneurs. They need to want to become entrepreneurs and see it as something attractive. So in order for this to happen, this does not happen automatically when you have a culture that is based on working opportunities. Then you need to change the culture, you need to change the attitudes, and that is done, for one thing, through role models. We do need a lot of role models in order for this to happen. So we know for a fact that people are influenced by other people's behavior and other people's attitudes. So therefore, it is very encouraging to find these interesting and successful entrepreneurs in North Macedonia and Kosovo and to listen to their voices. So it's really important that the stories of you, great role models, are spread in order to create awareness of entrepreneurship as a possible career path. But maybe also to initiate discussions on policy level on how to support entrepreneurs more actively. So we need to change the attitudes, we need to lower the barriers to build an entrepreneurial spirit in society. Only then can individual action be taken and the challenges that we all face be solved. So this event is extremely relevant. It showcases these inspirational and passionate entrepreneurs. So you have taken the lead and shown that it is possible, even through hard times as the current COVID-19 pandemic, you can still make entrepreneurship a possible way forward. So having said that, thank you again, Stefan and Miriam, for gathering these exciting role models, and thanks to the entrepreneurs for being willing to participate. I'm sure that this event, and not least the publication about the entrepreneurs, will enlighten and inspire a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lovegran. You showed us, basically you motivated us to think more entrepreneurially during the course. And basically what, from my experience, I can say that we need to start bottoms up. So the first thing that we wanted to do is to show that there are people who are bridging the challenges. It doesn't matter what time it is. Now we are facing COVID-19 situation, but otherwise there would be business channels or distribution channels or policies or whatever. So there are challenges all over the business operations, I can say. So yeah, I think that first we need to share these stories to motivate more people to get involved in entrepreneurship innovation, especially in Western Balkans, since it still can be seen as a taboo theme in some areas. So I think that we should do this more often. So thank you for that.
I agree.
Now we can continue to Andres. Mr. Andres Bringelsson, the project manager at the Lund University commissioned education. Andres, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Stefan. And I hope you can all hear me. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Great. And thank you also, Marie and Jana, for your remarks previously, giving a great introduction to what SIPE is really all about. You mentioned a few points there, Jana, with the networking and making people come together, and also what you touched upon, Marie, regarding role models. And yeah, we're really proud here in Lund to be one of the organizers of the Summer Academy for Young Professionals. As you might know, it's organized on behalf of the Swedish Institute by a number of Swedish universities. And we're happy for the second year in a row to work on this particular topic on innovation entrepreneurship in the Western Balkans. And of course, we hope for a continuation also in the next year, no matter if it will be online or, as we might even more hope for, to be able to meet again physically. And we also hope in the future to be able to gather the groups of 2019 and 2020, and hopefully also 2021, somewhere in a even broader networking scheme. But we will have to let future and Corona decide the possibilities for that, of course. But we're really happy to see that you've been able to carry out this project, Stefan and Miguel, despite the obstacles that you faced. And as Marie said, we hope there will be more projects coming in through the Summer Academy for Young Professionals. And hopefully we can have a good sharing of experiences once those projects have also been accomplished, and hopefully also lead to more networking between participants from SIPE in the Western Balkans. So I think I'll stop there. And I'm eager to hear from the entrepreneurs about their work. Thank you.
Thank you, Andres. Thank you for that address. We hope that we were already talking near the summer, or maybe it was March, I think, that we should make a broader networking platform from the Balkans with SIPE 19 and SIPE year 2019 and 2020. So it was a part of the planning process, and then happened what happened, right? So I hope that our plans will be executed or implemented further during the next year, hopefully sooner rather than later. So thanks again for that. And now I would like to introduce to you the entrepreneurs and the innovators that we're all been waiting for, basically, and what this event is all about. And that is, I would like to introduce to you our first in the panel, and that is Sanja Mitrovska, the CEO of Networker. She has a really interesting personal story, how she became the CEO of Networker and how she leads the company, but she'll tell you more about that herself. They use an interesting methodology to make this happen. And their motto is, they help startups start up. So yeah, Sanja, are you here? Yeah?
Yes, here.
The floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Stefan, and hello to everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here, honestly, because I really have a strong passion for entrepreneurship. And firstly, thanks that there are a lot of people with camera on, because I'm a people person, and it really helps me if I see you. We're not robots in the end, so that would be the first thing that I want to ask, because I want to be well spent 20 minutes. So 20 minutes, it's the time I have, right, Stefan? Is that?
Yes, yes.
Yes, because I think that on that way we will spend more quality time. So let's start from the beginning. My name is Sanja Mitrovska. I come from Macedonia, as Stefan announced. I'm the CEO and founder of Networker, a product development agency based in Skopje. So it's funny thing, really, how only entrepreneurship could make you ask yourself, how did I get here? Because I have a background in economy. I studied management in Faculty of Economics. Then I finished my master's studies in strategic human resource management. After I was a teaching assistant at faculty, well, a little bit sales, then financial consultant, and right now I work in product development agency, mostly developing businesses and design. So I'm not saying this to scare you. Those of you who are entrepreneurs will understand. It's not also to confuse you, just to say that I think that most important is to adopt, and that people change, our life goals change. I will speak later about that. And the only thing we shouldn't compromise with, it's our passion. And I'm really happy today that I realized that my passion is making impact. So it's not profit. It wasn't also working at a faculty, being a university professor. It's making impact and shaping societies. So COVID also taught us that we need to adapt. So it's not bad if you have colorful experience. It's really good if you keep your passion. But you need to know what's your passion. So that's why I'm saying from the beginning right now here. So in this place, I think I was here according to 2 tough decisions I've made during the time. First one, I had to admit that my life goal, my childhood dream changed. And that was to be a university professor. That was expected from me, from my parents, from the society, because I studied a lot. I also want to speak in front of people, and I'm a connector. But also, once my father told me that the best feminine profession is a faculty professor. Why don't you like that? Why did you quit? You can have children, you can have time for yourself. Even he mentioned you will be well dressed and you will work with young students. And it was, back then, I didn't realize that if I do what it's expected from me, then I cannot make impact. But right now I understand that, because according to me, I will make impact if there's another parent like my father, and he will tell to his little girl that the best profession also is entrepreneurship. I strongly believe that, because in entrepreneurship, if you build a sustainable business, and I'm not talking about profit and costs, I'm talking about sustainable system, team where you have a vision, you definitely can have 3 or 5 years pause and raise a child also as a girl. And if I work on faculty, I realize that that's not the case. So that's one thing I wanted to mention, that it's a feminine profession, and I will prove that. And second tough decision I had to make was that I had to accept that everything I did with Networker in the beginning is wrong. And in the first 3 to 5 months, the services that I was so sworn in weren't the right ones. Right now, we don't even offer that services. And the one that saved us is a service that we didn't even know that it existed back then. It's called a design sprint Google methodology. So a little bit about Networker. We are 1.5 years old, so still toddler, but it was really interesting here to start a business. We survived COVID, but also in the first 3 months, we did everything wrong, as I mentioned. Then we finally found who our customers are, what is their problem, and it wasn't the one that we thought in the beginning. So we solved that problem through Google methodologies, design sprint, and then when we finally started to generate revenue, COVID struck. So again, we needed to adapt. And that's why I'm saying adapting is a really important thing to do in business. That's not that you don't have a focus or that you don't have a clear vision. You do. It's a passion, and for me, it's impact. So I will shape everything I need, but I will make an impact, and that will keep me successful. So after COVID, right now, it's not after, it still exists, but the truth is that we ended with tripled income, because COVID taught us also something interesting. We can do those design sprints remotely. And we were really good in it. And we have a competitive advantage because from Macedonia to Berlin, there's no agency that does that specific design sprint we do. But before COVID, we thought that that's a physical thing. We cannot do remote workshop. Yes, you do. It's a bit, you can do, but it's a bit different. So I'm really grateful also for those two things. And let's start right now from the beginning, a little bit about my life goal change dream. Back in my ex-life, when I wanted to be a university professor, I tried it. I tried it 2 years. I was a teaching assistant at Faculty of Economics right away after graduating. And I must admit, I loved it. I loved working with students and somehow shaping their ways of seeing life and thinking about career and not being average. I loved that. But what I didn't like was that I didn't understand the system. And for me, system is everything that you have an input, you have some process, and then output. If you put something in extraordinary in the system, you expect that something extraordinary will came out of it. So that maybe if you don't understand it, then it's not the system for you. Maybe it's for other person. But I was chosen for best teaching assistant at the university that time. But since I was the youngest one, there was a clearly predefined role and path for me that I needed to follow. So nothing happened. And that pissed me a lot, I must admit, because anything you do, it doesn't matter if you do something extraordinary, the output is average. It's not below, it's not above, it just, there's a predefined path for you. And then I realized how much impact means to me. And then I realized my real childhood dream that I didn't mention before was to be a Nobel Prize winner, because there's only 2 women did that, and none of Balkan. And somehow I wasn't a modest child, as you can imagine, but that was my dream. And right now I understand that it's none because the science, it's only about the impact, because nobody did it. So I wanted to challenge that. And when I realized that, I said, okay, I will change the game, because I don't understand the system and it frustrated me. I was frustrated. So I cannot make an impact here. And then I said, I will change the game, and something I understood better. That was sales. During faculty, to survive, because faculty salary wasn't that good, I worked as a salesperson, and I was selling life insurance. Something very hard to sell, but somehow I understood that system, because if you sell more, you get more. And it was input, output, something that those factors I can predict, and I can make them happen. Not that much in the public institution, obviously. I cannot predict that. So, but I realized I will do something differently, not only life insurance. Right now, I will start financial consultancy. And that's was FINSA, startup I also started. It was non-profit organization where we, okay, something, it's streaming on Facebook. I wasn't sure what's that, okay. And I started to, for financial literacy, where we screened people needs. We asked them what they need. And after we built a financial plan for them, PDF version in 10 pages, and it was for free. But as you can imagine, 70% of the people bought that financial plans. I mean, they realized the financial products in the plan. So they bought not only life insurance, they bought loans, they bought investment funds, etc., etc. So the commission was good. But again, there was a problem with the impact. I was one-man show. And that back time meant that I cannot multiplicate my effort. And also, if I stop working, then everything stops. Because it's non-profit organization and I just need to work more to get more. And it wasn't logic for me. So with one of my biggest clients in FINSA, the academy, we started talking that maybe it's good to start something together because we were a perfect fit. Very similar, but in the same time, very different. Same in the means of ethics and moral standards, but very different in the way we approach life. I'm as a dreamer, as you can see, and everything it's in the sky for me, but he's a rational dream killer and he will hate me if he hears this, but that's why I love him, because I really need someone to say, okay, Sanya, now let's focus on this, and that's the right thing to do. So with our combination, we didn't know what the business will be, but we knew that if we agree upon something, and that's also today, if me and him agree on something, that's the right thing to do. And that's how we build businesses today in Business Ideas. He kills it, I build it, and again, so that's a continuous process. And I think that's why we are successful. So in the beginning, we founded Networker. And as the name speaks itself, it's about networking, finding people needs, and then in our case was finding entrepreneurs' needs. And what entrepreneurs need, they need mentoring, they need business models, proof of concept, and in the end, they need money, so they need investors. And our work was to mentor them, and I thought that is the best idea to mentor them for free, because I was used on that from FINSA Academy, but it didn't work here. But we tried. That's why I say I did it all wrong. So we started mentoring 30 entrepreneurs, and the life cycle was extremely long. So by the time the business from ideation phase will end up to finding an investor, so financial projections and everything, the cycle was 3 to 5 months. And our monetization process back then was after 3 to 5 months. So it was a really problem. We couldn't survive it. And after 3 months, I had to admit, that's why I said the second choice I did was to say, okay, Sanya, you did it all wrong. That's not true. You cannot make also impact if you don't profit. So I said, okay, now we must monetize something, but we didn't know how to do that. And I was called on the event as a speaker, student meeting. And one of the students in the public, while I was speaking about Networker, asked a question, or mostly like a suggestion. He said, I think you do this wrongly. You do it, it's too long, the process. You talk, the meetings, and then next week, again meeting. There's an agency in Berlin that does design sprint. Did you heard about it? And I said, no, but let me take you to coffee and you will explain. Because I knew that we do that differently, but also wrongly. And on the coffee, he explained that there's a process, 5-day process, where you could, from ideation, end up with tested prototype on real users. And I was thrilled hearing that. not because I thought that that's the right service for us, because that will shorten our cycle, and again, we will monetize from business investors. So the interesting thing was I said, okay, I will learn everything about this process. I bought the book. I attended every YouTube videos, every tutorials, and thanks to my background in teaching, I organized very soon the first workshop with one of our entrepreneurs, of course, for free, because that's how I thought the things should go. And I also invited the student on my workshop because he's a designer, and right now he's my art director in Networker, because his idea was the main reason why we survived, even though I wasn't, and I think also he wasn't sure that that's a very good thing in back time. He was only enthusiastic. He also told me that he mentioned that idea to other corporations in Macedonia, but everyone says, okay, he's a kid. Well, he had 19 years then. What's this kid talking? So I won't implement that. He cannot say nothing about my business. And the results after that workshop were extraordinary. So in 5 days, we started from ideation. And in the first day, we killed the idea by inviting experts in their area, experts, stakeholders, I mean, for that idea. And it's not clients, only stakeholders. And in the first day, in those interviews, they speak a lot of reasons about why this idea could fail. So we transfer them in how might we solve this notes. And then we try to solve on the second day with sketches, individually sketches and brainstorming sessions where everyone thinks outside of the box. Then third day, you end up with voting process and full customer journey and storyboard with the solutions. And in the fourth day, you prototype it. And we did all that. The prototype was awesome because I had that time 2 senior designers in my team. I also had 1 financial person, 1 marketing person, and we were multidisciplinary. So in Thursday, the fourth day, we end up with fully clickable prototype that's without line of code, only Figma based, if someone understands it. And after, in the fifth day, we tested on real users. And my job as a facilitator was to find those 5 ideal buyer persona, not their family, not their best friends, 2 founders, someone who will come and will speak about the idea. And it wasn't important if they will like the idea. The most important and magical question I ask always on those testing is, how will you like this idea? What problem we can solve also with this idea? And also the most important question, how much will you pay for this idea? Because that was the problem. A lot of businesses that came in the beginning in our mentoring weren't investable. They only had ideas with this is innovation, let us sign disclosure agreement, but only PowerPoint presentations, not real concept, not prototype. They didn't even spoke with 5 potential users. So it was impossible for me to find an investor. Only 3 of entrepreneurs, we closed it in the beginning because, and 27 of them were just, we lost their time and they lost ours. So design sprint was a step backwards for us, but also a step to survival. So with design sprint now, we build investable companies because I can predict how much are the revenues in pessimistic, realistic, and optimistic scenario. And that's good for an investor because also I didn't mention, we realized that there are a lot of investors in Macedonia. In the beginning, we couldn't monetize because of the startups, not because of the investors. For 3 startups, we found an investor. 10 investors were interested per startup. So it's a really, really interesting thing that none of us expected to happen in the beginning. Not me, not my partner. And right now, I just want to say, with our process, there's no bad or good idea. It's only an idea, and that's the 10% of everything. But this is very interesting in also not only startups, but in huge corporations where they can get their budget. Because with this, they will prove to their CEO that something is interesting without the fully cost of development. For example, if it's a digital solution, mobile application. Only with 10% of the full price of the project, you will get feasibility analysis, but also test it in front of real users. And you will kill the idea in the beginning. So that's why I don't believe that there is a bad idea. With our system, we make good ideas that also bring revenue. So in the end, maybe, because I think that I've spoke enough, maybe the most interesting question, how we tripled our revenue during COVID. Well, this crisis taught us to adapt. We adapted. That's why we tried to work remotely. But also this crisis taught other businesses to adapt and to do things differently, to challenge them. And that's why I think they accept design sprint even in Macedonia. And it's not something they understand. It's a combination of lean methodology and design thinking, but shortened. And but they accepted it because it's a way for faster failure. And if you fail something fast, then it's not the problem, the failure itself. You'll have more time to adapt it and to rebuild it again. And that's what our process is. So I think that none of the entrepreneurs should be afraid of failing. They will do everything wrongly in the beginning. The problem of time is crucial. How long they will do things wrongly.
Thank you, Sanja. It was quite interesting. The first thing that when we have done this interview, the first thing that you said is investors are not a problem. Funding is everywhere, and yes. I was a bit confused. Like everybody is looking for investors and funding, and you're like, funding is not a problem. The idea is the problem. You have to bring down your idea and crash it, and then rise it from the ashes again to be better. So we have to ask customers and so on and so forth. And the second thing that I was impressed with is that you listened to a student's idea, which basically was the solution for your company to start making money or basically monetize your service. So that's a good advice for everybody. Listen to the idea and think about it. When someone is proposing the idea, think about that. So thank you for that. And thank you for your story. It's quite an interesting one. I will talk soon and basically on follow-ups to see your rise with your company. Thanks again. So now I'm going to go to our second entrepreneur. That is Natalia Burgieva. She runs, she is the CEO of Mama Organa, a social enterprise that was awarded with Startup Europe Award in 2019 in the category of Best Job Growth Startup, a special winner. So Natalia, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. Very nice people here, as I can see. Thank you, Sanja, for the intro and for the current situation with introducing the current situation with the entrepreneurship in Macedonia and globally, actually. COVID had taken its part, for sure. So, as I mentioned, my name is Natalia. I am a financial economist actually, and prior working in and creating one organa. I guess as a result for my solution-oriented character, I was usually working in big companies as a procurement manager. I'm very skilled in market researching, finding where the problems are, pointing at them, and creating the best possible solution. But the time came in my life when I was a young mother, and also I had reappearing health issues from the past. So I stayed at home, wasn't able to work, and also, as I mentioned, I had a little kid with me. So after trying the conventional medical solutions, I didn't find one. And after the third time to solve it, I found a solution in changing my diet, for starting to only eating organic food. But as you all know, the organic food is more than 30% expensive than the conventional grown one. So at that moment, I couldn't barely afford what I wanted from the conventional things, not even to imagine buying organic food. I was unemployed. So what did I do? I started educating myself, although I was financial economist, about how to grow your own food. I'm born in Skopje, in municipality in Aerodrome, which is something like a concrete jungle. So the access to the soil or ground to grow food was not even imaginable. So I started educating myself on Dutch principles, how to grow food on your own at home in organic base, but also in very small places because the place that you live in is pretty restricted, as you know. So that's when I found out that the food waste, when properly decomposed, not even that stops the polluting to the environment and affecting the climate change, can also serve as a great base for growing your own food. I started experimenting on my own with the food scraps that we had from home, composting them by my own, and growing plants, for example, particularly tomatoes and cucumbers, in a 2 square meter balcony, let's say. It was successful from the beginning, and I was so proud of myself. And that's when, parallel with all the protests, I was educating myself even more, because the idea that I could collect something that is waste, and as I learned at that time, is also creating other costs only for transportation. In my city, we pay more than 8 million euros per year for this food waste to be transported at the landfill. So I thought, wait a minute now, we have one people in 8 of us, which is struggling with hunger, and we are wasting food, and it sounded like a paradox, like a modern paradox. And I thought, what if I create something that would collect this waste, and instead of it polluting the environment and creating cost, let's create value instead and create also jobs for socially excluded single mothers. I applied with the idea on a call from Arno, Philanthropy for Green Ideas, supported by Rockefeller Foundation. I won in Macedonia on national level, and it was pretty surprising for that, because I wasn't hoping for it. I represented Macedonia in the regional competition. The idea was supported by everybody I represented it in front of. And when I got back from Montenegro, the competition was in Montenegro, decided to found the company. At that time, there was a call from UN and the Agency for Employment in Macedonia, like some minimal grants for buying equipment for startups. I applied for that, they chose me, and I basically started the company from scratches with those 4,000 euros grant from United Nations. And after that, what happened? We have developed the business model with particular attention to the impact side, with the social impact side. Yes, we are a business, but primarily we are social business, and we will never change that in order to make more profits. It's possible to be a social business, to take big part of the profit cake and to spend it in donations or in supporting some other issue and cause, and still be legit in front of investors to get an investment. So if some of the entrepreneurs are in a doubt, what should we do? If we should continue with strengthening our business model in order to create a higher revenue, or should we proceed with creating higher impact? I will always suggest higher impact. Why? Because that impact is usually a great return of investment. Not because people know you, not because of the marketing channels that you get when you're social impacting, but because of the gratefulness that you feel inside yourself and the gratefulness of the people are giving to you and appreciation of the people. It's a big thing. That thing gives straight so you can continue and work further. That's how Mama Organa went into 3 acceleration programs and 1 investment ready program. Practically the last 2 years, we were more in big European cities on acceleration programs than in Macedonia doing our job, but it was all worth it. We learned a lot of things from there. We have developed the company to the point of its self-sustainability, so we do not depend on any grants or government money, and we actually do not need the investment in order to survive, but we, at the moment, we are currently negotiating for investment, so that's why I'm talking about this more. We need an investment in order to grow, particularly for that. For example, now, at this moment, currently we are collecting around 100 tons per year food waste. If we automate our process and digitalize some of the processes, we will be able to do it 3 times even more the next year. And a lot of people who are in the business are recognizing this opportunity. And I can say that the interest is not less than any other IT or regular startup, as I say. So the difference between the regular businesses and social impact business is currently so thin that I can say that it's not even anyone. Particularly in the future, as we are all aware, this linear economy will change it into circular models. Why? The resources that we have that are available on this planet Earth are limited. Nothing is not unlimited, or it will not last eternally. So we must take care for the environment, for the water and all the natural resources around us, and try to create our own. So now what have we done in order of that? We have, so one part, social impact part, when we collect food waste, we hire people from marginalized categories that get income in their families for that. We stop the pollution to the environment with collecting the waste, but also we implement innovative technologies in production of the organic fertilizers. So we can say that we are even legit for a patent of technology, and especially in the innovative compounds and ingredients in the substrates that we offer. I can say that we are developing pretty good. As I mentioned, we are not even in need of investment, already self-sustainable, but this March, COVID came. And how did it affect us? 90% of all the people involved in Mama Organa are mothers of kids that still go to preschool. So as you all know, the preschools were the first one closed and the last one opened during the COVID crisis. Nobody didn't, as a single mom, we don't have other part to take care of the kid. So we had to do it, everything by ourselves. Lockdown was active. We were not allowed to leave our homes after some time. So we were not able actually to do our job. What did we do? We, how to say, split the processes. Every one of us, that's why it's so important to have a sustainable team. So all the people in the team could come to the other position to replace the player if it's possible at that time. So we split the activities, split the work, and created online shop. But we knew that if we create an online shop, our online shop with Mama Organa domain, the range that we will have, we will be much lower than instead of creating it on a big platform like Grouper instead. So that's what we did. We have opened an online shop in a Grouper shopping mall. Grouper reaches up to 100 potential buyers per day, and I can say that it was a boom. The urban gardening was at constant rise in the previous years. So during the COVID, even more and more people decided to grow foods and plants at their own homes. And combined with online sale and outsourcing the delivery, we had the perfect model how to outcome all the challenges that we had in front of us. So I can proudly say that our company is now even better developed and in better position than it was prior COVID, and I'm happy with the results. As I mentioned, we are currently looking for an investment in Series R, so it will be our first thing of this type. And I'm pretty much looking forward to it and to expand our production capacity, sales, and everything else.
Thank you, Natalia. It's a great story. Over the years, it has been just evolving everywhere because you started with circular economy, then you started employing marginalized groups of people, single parents, single mothers. Then you have made a center for victims of violence and so on and so forth. So its impact is unbelievable every year. So in these 3 years, I always hear something new each year and every year in development, and that's fabulous. That's extraordinary. Thanks for that. Now I would like to invite Mijan. Mijan is the project manager from Kosovo, from the Innovative Center for Social Improvement, our partner in crime. We have done these interviews because we have a study visit in Kosovo as well, in Pristina, in Jilan, and many other cities. So it was an interesting experience, and I would like to invite him to say a few words about the implementation of the project in Kosovo, our study visit, and of course to present the next 2 speakers from Kosovo, the next 2 entrepreneurs and innovators. Mijan?
Hello, everyone. Just make sure that you can hear me well.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I can start. Hello, everyone. It was interesting to hear everything, what it was said till now. Thank you, Sanya and Natalia, for sharing your stories. Thank you, Stefan, for cooperating with me, and to everyone who spoke until now. Just to let you know, to everyone who is here, just before 1 year, me and Stefan, we didn't know for each other that we exist. So sometimes people just met accidentally. And on the way, you just go with the flow, with the wave, and you can start cooperating, just like you, that you are in an online event. Okay, I wish we could be offline as it was planned in Skopje, but you know the reasons why we had to postpone this 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and we decided to switch it into online because of this pandemic year. And you never know with whom you can start doing something, working something, implementing something. So we just met last year in Sweden, in Lund University. We have some representatives there whom I would love to thank them all for that amazing experience. We just started talking about an idea, and they supported us, and here we are. We had a study visit in February. I remember I tried to make a list of innovators and entrepreneurs who would be possibly interesting for our study. There were more than 50, I remember, and we just made a shortcut, and we decided to interview around 10, if I'm not wrong. Some of them, they are here, whom I would love to thank them for attending this online event. As I mentioned, it was planned to make a very good event. We had many plans to meet all the people we have met in Macedonia and in Kosovo, to gather them together. So to see who is where, what we can do together. But we had to agree that this is what was going on, and let's switch into online. It was very interesting to say that even me, when I was going with Stefan to make the interviews, I started to get inspired from the stories that they share with us. And it's interesting how everyone started with something very small. Because me as a person, I have a problem that sometimes I exaggerate thinking big, and I'm trying to start appreciating all the small steps, all the small elements, how we should admit that you cannot fly in the sky if you don't start walking on the ground first. So this is pretty much what I would love to say as an introduction from the Kosovo part. And I would love to thank Visar and Arianet for accepting the invitation to share their stories with us also. And I think Stefan will invite them. I don't know who is on the roll, but you will decide.
First, we should start with Arianit. Arianit Slamnicu, the CEO of Katundi Agrotourism. It's an interesting story because, well, he will tell the details himself, but it was very interesting because he did this literally with his own hands. So let's hear from Arianit about his company and his model. Arianit?
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. Especially hi, Stefan, to Stefan and Mijan. Long time no see. I will start immediately with my own story, and the impact within our.
Arianet, can you please try to raise a bit the voice of your device, just a bit?
Am I good now?
Now it's much better.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
So, first of all, I want to introduce myself as an environmentalist and also as a head of Kosovo Sports Fishing Association. It means that for about five years in that position. That means that I love environmentalism, green energy, and everything what's in and about it. So, in other hand, is the pollution and everything that comes from destroying our nature. In other hand, and the other hand is also a flood from 2000 and on of families and people from village into the cities that brings me into idea to do something different from everybody. Being honest, to try to do something in village from city, replacing my family into transforming my family as a urban family into the village family, or family that can be a good sample for everybody who wants to enjoy the nature and the life in village. So I decided in a small area that I owned in 2000. That means that after the war in Kosovo, I have decided to implement green life. Green life that will be a sample also for my family, my friends, and my neighborhood. It started with a small wooden house, which I have started to build by myself. The model, I took it from internet. Being honest, it was an small wooden house which I saw in Canada. It was a plan, Canadian plan of the houses, wooden houses, a B form or A form. They say that as a model. So I built it within 30 days with 2 workers, and started to promoting it in Facebook. Everything was shut down within my family and from my friends, and everybody's. I saw that everybody started to talk about my home, because my plan, because every day that I have made something, I have made a post in Facebook with pictures and small text. So it was very, 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 very amazing hearing comments, and also because of our Orthodox society or conservative society, mostly I heard that Arianit maybe is going to be crazy, or it's crazy, because first of all, I am professor of German language. I have made also a master degree in Nice in France in diplomacy. So knowing me as academic type, maybe he's gone too far. They said about me. So I have every day I have told my story with my Facebook posts about my greenhouse, my family, my happy family within it. Being honest, my wife and my two young daughters, it was not so easy to convince them, making a life from urban area or city, standard city of Gilan, into the village without houses and without electricity and nothing more than that, but only a house. So next year,
Did we lose the voice?
Yes, I think that we've lost the voice, or his connection just.
Arianit?
So he mentioned electricity, so.
Well, if he's in the village, it might be the reason.
Okay, so it might be that reason. I don't know, but he can connect and share his story again, or just continue his story. But the thing is that in this village, he built this house with his own hands and these two workers, and basically now he's renting the house to people all around the world. Maybe he can show. Oh, here he is. Arianit?
it's me again.
Yeah.
Sorry, because of internet network.
Yeah.
So can I continue? Or?
Yes, please continue.
Okay. So the idea of a small restaurant was because the only one reason, one and only reason. Within the 3 years of my stay in village and my business and activities there, it was a crowd of people who came to visit me. So I couldn't afford with my expenses so much visitors. So I decided to open a small restaurant or with my organic foods. It means that I produce okay, my chickens produce eggs. I have chicken meat. I have also 4 goats, Alpine goats, where from whom I took milk and produce cheese. I have honeybees because I own 10 families of honey of bees. Sorry, I have my own fruits and I have my own vegetables, and I also started to produce a juice, organic juice from roses. It is something unusual as a taste and as a formula. So even uh, if the clients taste the cheese with the goat cheese with honey, it is also unusual for our dairy or our kitchen tastes. So it is something that I have produced and started within the pandemic crisis or crisis. So it was not very easy. Within the 3 or 4 years, it is the everyday post in the Facebook with some kind of picture, comment, or food, especially food, because in Balkans, for example, we have meat. We are drying meat. In the Balkans, all nations are drying meat, but I have started to smoke meat because the smoked meat has a difference with dried meat.
Arenit,
So, these kind of products brought me that to have clients all over from Kosovo, Albania, and even families, the officials who worked in U.S. embassies, Turkish embassies, Swedish embassies, that visited me or my project.
Arenit, can you tell us? Because I know that you rent your house to clients, and you said that from many countries people are asking for to came. Can you tell us from which countries you had travelers and clients? Because that was interesting.
Being honest, my first profession was a graphic designer in my own printing shop. It was established in 1994. So the marketing issue, I'm expert on it. So the clients from all over the world were the hook, a perfect hook for the next clients into my restaurant. The people who came, who visited and who slept in my wooden house, villa, came from Brazil, unusually, but it's true. Slovakia, I had two groups of young boys, young friends who came and stood more than 3 weeks. From Denmark, and it was unusual client, female client from Italy with 13 dogs. Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting that I think that when we had the interview,
it was really fun because I had also families from Canada and Sweden also. One family from Sweden came with their children. They were there for about 3 days. They stood there, slept, eat it,
Mm-hmm. When we talked, I think that you said that the restaurant basically was the idea of your customers because nothing is around like 2 or 3 kilometers, maybe. You're just in the nature, and your customer said you had to have a restaurant here so we can eat here and don't go like
Also,
to the
also,
city.
yeah. It was a complaint from our tourists who came visited us. They wanted to eat and sleep there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one issue, but the other issue, being honest, I couldn't afford the expenses of my visitors. Around for 1 year, I had around 3,200 visits. It is sorry, but it is too much. I couldn't afford that.
Yeah, but you're scaling. You have now a restaurant, and in the future you can scale up. Maybe make another house so you can rent.
Yeah, but it's idea. The next idea that came is making Stefan. It's making apitherapy. Maybe somebody from you heard about it. From from the bees, the air what comes from the box of the bees, making a therapy about for asthma and colds and stress and depression. That's the best solution. Is it's something as a alternative medicine.
Yeah.
So
great idea.
One is in Tetova. I heard a lady has this kind of business. Also in Turkey and Germany. In the Balkans, it's something new. So I want to maybe in the future I will start that issue to that.
Ariane, did you ever seek for some help or some financial help from any potential donor or any call that has been published for entrepreneurs?
Every time, Mijen, but I couldn't succeed. The government donations or funds are only for medium and large farmers or interpreters.
And you are still on the small category, right?
I'm small one. I am small one. I own not too much land, so that's why they can't donate
invest.
for me. So that's it. But I need some kind of alternative helps because you know guys that also the whole of this project is in off grid electricity. I produce the electricity by myself with the solar panels. They are good, but they are not enough. I have only 2 kilowatt per hour electricity, so it's not enough for this kind of project. The needs also is the need is also infrastructure, which I made something with friends and colleagues who work in municipalities, Novo Brdo and Gilan. They helped me. They have invested a road around 700 meters from village until to my project. Where is my land?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, Arini, thank you very much. It was very interesting because I know that you produce everything yourself, from the electricity to the water to the food from the restaurant, and you have made it all self-sustainable. Basically, that's the circular economy part for your business. And now, from the numbers that you've told me, you have even grown your network for renting this for basically scaling up this agricultural, agrotourism business. So thank you for that. and thank you for sharing the stories with us.
It was my honor knowing you and being part of this communication. Thank you.
Thank you, Erenit. We'll talk soon. Next, we would go to Visar. Visar Kelmendi, the CEO of Green Energy Technologies, and he also works on an app, the interview app. So it's very interesting when we were doing the interview, he told us with all the challenges that he had to face with the app. So I'm just taking the interview back, taking what you have told us. It was quite interesting. So I'm very interested in sharing that here.
I'm waiting for Ward to hear his story, because I remember that day I was super sick when you came, so I had to cancel the appointment. So I didn't have the chance, but I remember that Stefan told me some interesting things. So I'm also curious to
Guys, you are spoiling me. Thanks a lot. It's very a pleasure to talk to you.
You are the last speaker, so we have to.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm just, firstly, I have to thank all the entrepreneurs for sharing their ideas, their journey. I really felt everything that they've gone through, and it is inspiring. And yes, I'm Visar Kelmendi. I'm the founder of a company called GET, or Green Energy Technologies, which I started in 2010. And this is our 10th year, and also founder of the Interview LLC. The difference between the Interview LLC and the GET is that GET is totally based on renewable energy efficiency and how to smarter our energy usage in general. It was a journey started in 2010 when Kosovo had their own problems with energy produced by coal and non-practical or non-healthier way of producing energy. Since today we have the same problem. We are coal-based economy, and since 2010 I started looking for alternatives regarding our energy usage, because in that time it was a big problem regarding how is Kosovo attracting foreign investors, and one of the key problems was electrical grid or sufficient energy sources. And in that time I started as a marketing guy, I started looking for the products that they can be related to our market and are attractive in our market, and therefore we started the GET, promoting solar, energy efficiency, energy saving products, as LED bulbs, etc. This is our 10th year. It is interesting to see back 10 years back, and you see that the growth was organic. I mean, it wasn't, the first 2 years wasn't the easiest years at all, because in a coal-based economy, talking to someone about solar, they would just stare at you and say, why should I invest in solar? We have millions of tons of lignite underneath our ground. Therefore, it was the ideological clashes and the cultural clashes. Since in 2010, the climate change problems weren't as it's today. Today, the people are more aware. But back in time, in 2010, it's not a big difference, but mentally and logically, people were not very aware about what's going on. And yeah, as a company, we have grown, and we have succeeded to be a part of a market since 2010, also expanding in Albania, and also having a great partnerships also with North Macedonia. As I mentioned, Stefan, earlier, we have a great cooperation between my company and the partnering company Macedonia. It is a very interesting market. It's the Balkan market is very dynamic market. um, as it is, with all those struggles, with all those how to say problems that we have as a Balkan economy, the European Union tends to invest in renewable energy sources and promoting it as much as they can. And therefore, yeah, we made it. And during this process of getting bigger and bigger every year, I have challenged something else, which is HR department. We have struggled because we were attending to the fairs. We are becoming more known and known every day. So the people are inviting us. How the 24-year-old guy opens up a company totally green in a country that it's totally dependent in coal and all those spoiling things. But it was interesting at the time, so I tended to do every single event. And it was one event when it was a fair in Belgrade, and we were going there with the Economic Chamber of Kosovo, and it was a event in Belgrade. We went there, and so I wanted to take with me also promoters that we can help speak Serbian and present what we do back in Kosovo, what we offer and all that. So I published work job announcement, and in that time we were looking for two girls that were communicating. They have a communication skills in Serbian and also in English and also in Albanian. So it was quite not an easy task, since they have to know all those three languages. But we offered a decent payment, and it was for 2 days. And what had happened, our office became full of people trying to come to receive this, how to say, a weekend 2 days work. And the office became very, very crowded. And I just didn't thought that it will happen, because the unemployment rate in Kosovo is quite high, and so for that type of position, for that type of payment, there was surprisingly it was a huge need, and it became a huge headache for me, because by attending to my office, you see people waiting in line, waiting for this opportunity. So I was quite shocked, and at the same time there were people calling friends, asking for their sisters, relatives to how to say, accept there in this position. I was to say truly, I was quite shocked, and it was a turning point for me when I started to thinking how I can do the recruitment without asking for a special recruitment company. Since this is a cost, as a small to medium company, we wanted to keep our costs low, and therefore I was thinking to find an alternative way when I don't expose myself as a company, but I will see all the available job seekers in a portal, if I may say. Therefore, the idea of the interview started. So if you ask me, what is the interview? It is a simple way, how we call it CVP or CV pitch. You actually will pitch your CV in front of camera, exactly how I do now. But before you do that, you firstly choose the industry that you are educated in, and within the industry you choose the position, and you will be asked by our app, which is available in App Store right now. You will be asked 5 very simple questions, like tell us about yourself, your recent job you worked on. If you don't have to work for a month, what would you do? And all those simple questions. And after you finish recording yourself by answering those questions, you will be asked to choose a country of preference where you would like to work. And this is it. Actually, when you apply, you just chill out and wait for someone to reply on your video. What we make sure is that this video is quite well distributed, since we are using very smart technology, so the video abusement won't happen, or if it happens, it has an address, since this platform of CV pitches will be distributed only to the subscribers. Only the businesses who needs, for example, salespersons, they will pay a monthly or a yearly fee just to see the available salesperson available in the market they are operating. And therefore, this as an idea had been awarded from the Ministry of Innovation in Kosovo as a best idea, and also from the ICK Innovation Center Kosovo, it had been awarded with a grant for supporting us. And the stage that we are now in, it's not the best stage since as an idea, it was funded by my company called the previous company Get. And since COVID times, it has been some problems regarding our target market. Since with my company, we do target big businesses, and we present energy saving solutions to them. And the big businesses kind of we've been shaped from the pandemic, so they are not doing investments, huge investments in any type of industry, especially in energy saving or renewable energy, because they don't want to lose their juice, how we say in here, spending money in something that the payback time is 5 years. They want to make sure that they are in game. Therefore, we have to change the focus of the company, move on to the households and farmers. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster in a business, but I mean, I think we're gonna, after this pandemic is gone, we will be stronger than ever. And I think that this is quite a challenge and test for every dimension, not just for businesses, but in education, in transport, in every dimension has been tested. And the strongs will survive, I guess. So I don't know. I didn't check the time when I started, but I will really enjoy, because I really don't like talking without
feedback.
So I will be happy to listen if you have anything interesting to ask.
Sir, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
Since you said that people have to tell in the video the country where they would prefer to work, it's like you are targeting also other countries. It's not just for Kosovo.
Exactly, Vijan. For example, this idea came up. For example, we have how to say summer jobs that we call in that you go to work for a summer holidays. You go to work somewhere, and for example, the Germany.
I did something like that.
Yeah, me either. During my student times, I always did that. I really enjoyed. I miss those days sometimes. And for example, the German market and the UK market, Turkish market during the summer times, they are seeking for example, hotel receptionists, waiters, and etc. And how to say, to get connected. And the main thing is that within the interview, you are also able to see that because the recruitment's problem is that they are going through CVs, and the CV is becoming less and less efficient according to my personal sources and the surveys that we did for a specific jobs. For a job that the presence is needed. For example, in hotels, the receptionist is the first page of the hotel, and therefore they have to see the candidate and also understand the language clearance, the gesture, and the presence itself for easy adopting process. Therefore, we decided to make also visible the countries that they prefer to work. For example, I work in, and also this was a request for the people already working. For example, based on survey that we had, there are a lot of people that are recently working, but they are willing to change the work if they have a possibility to work, for example, in, let's say, Frankfurt. And therefore, they will they can't leave the work and ask for another job. Therefore, it was a request that, Visar, I will do the video, but please locate the video just for the German market with the focus in Frankfurt. So if someone from Frankfurt is willing to recruit, he will be able to see his CVP. And not the other ones, for example, London, Kosovo.
Based on location.
Yes, this is
have you launched it already, or you are still working on that? Because maybe I missed the part. You said that it's available.
Nijan, it's available now, but only in iOS and Apple. We are having quite difficulties to work also in Android, since we are thinking.
I'm an Android user. So.
Excuse me, Nijan?
I'm an Android user, so you better make it happen.
Yeah,
make
man,
it
for
work.
sure. But now this the programming technology is quite impressive. 2.5 years from now, I've been more into reading and understanding the process. And now we will do a Renative, which is a specific language, which when you write the code in a React Native, you will actually cover two iOS and Android. Mm-hmm. And we are working on that, since even the changes that will appear during the work, we will make the, the updates only in one version. So that's the reason why we are having difficulties, because this React Native as a coding language is quite new. It's not very, easy to find a professional team to work on it, but we are slowly going there.
Thank you very much, Visar.
It's a pleasure.
It's fascinating that in 2010 you thought about transition to help countries and businesses transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy. That is something that we are striving as well. Basically, social entrepreneurs are striving for in the environment area, and the world should be is doing that well now more than ever, I can say. Correct. Or they're just declaring themselves that they're doing something like that. So I think that's excellent. The transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy is the way to go. Also, it's very interesting that from experience and from your hardship with HR and finding the right persons for the right job, you have made an app basically to cut your costs, but also to monetize the service and raise your margins. So that's pretty good model. Make your hardship a good idea to monetize with, so you can help others. Exactly. Pay you some sum. Yeah, that's excellent.
Thanks. Thanks, Ross.
Yeah. Because we have time, if anybody here has questions, because they're in the audience, they're entrepreneurs and innovators, and we have still here Sanya from Networker. We have Visar here also with the in the interview app. If you have any questions, I see Maria Dimovska here from North Macedonia. I don't know if I should put her on the spot, but maybe I don't know if he can answer some question. If you have any questions, then now
I just saw that somebody is attending this event from the beach, so that's
crazy. That's very motivating.
Yeah, thank you, my Linda, for joining us from the beach.
Okay, so just silence for 2 or 3 seconds to see if there is any question here. Okay.
Yeah, first let me check who is here.
Excuse me. Unfortunately, I left the sea there because I didn't have more, charge on my computer. So, but I'm enjoying from the balcony.
But I saw you before a couple of minutes. I was like, is this a beach? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, of course it is. It's very beautiful. So maybe that view brings another idea about a new project for everyone here. So I think I helped a little bit. And I was thinking too for myself. Okay, but I'll share later with me, Jen. Maybe.
Feel free. Thank you for attending this.
Great. So from what we have heard and from the research, given that there is no questions, from what we have heard and from what we have researched during this past year, basically in Kosovo and in North Macedonia, we have found that individualism and characteristics of entrepreneurs and innovators are key for the success of their companies. The mindset of those in charge makes the difference between failure and success, as we have heard, especially in these COVID times. And several mutual traits or characteristics, attributes were found among the entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurs and innovators that were part of this research. As I said, we've all been presented in the publications 5 entrepreneurs and innovators from each country. However, we have interviewed more than 20. Consequently, we can characterize these types of people as hardworking, passionate, dedicated, risk takers, people that trust and believe in their capabilities and in those of their team. So ownership is one important thing as well. It appears that the geographical location does not matter when we are describing an entrepreneurial or innovator, the mind of innovators. So they're all thinking alike, and they're trying to basically break a barrier of some kind. So in terms what Arianid said, probably most of the entrepreneurs and innovators that have started with some kind of idea were thought that they were crazy or that this idea won't happen. And then we saw Google, and then we saw Apple, and then we saw, hopefully some of you will achieve that certain level. So we should be crazy, and we should have solutions to act on these ideas and have solutions to this, sustainable solutions to these issues. So also what we have found, and when we talked with you guys that are present here and with the others as well, is that this type of and similar type of research where the entrepreneurs and the innovators are in the and personal stories are in the foreground, were highlighted as key for providing role models and camaraderie, sharing experience. So for new and upcoming entrepreneurs and innovators. So many of you said that we're watching interviews and we're watching YouTube videos to see that the challenges and how these entrepreneurs and innovators have bridged them. So yeah, what I can say is that we will keep researching the entrepreneurs and innovators stories on a regular level to share various experiences and practices, but also widen the area on a regional level. As I said at the beginning, when Jana was talking from the embassy, is that we found that many of businesses, as Visar now said, many of the businesses in Kosovo are working with businesses in North Macedonia, and also Florentin Cheese, that was supposed to be here as well to share his story, is also working with a company from North Macedonia, and so he said that this company has saved them more than 50,000 euros, only just providing him 2 or 3 advices and 2 or 3 phone calls. Yeah, so
I remember that.
And I was just when he was saying that, I thought, just think about the opportunities that you can have if you network these people and just share a few of their stories and a few of their solutions and advices. They can save many amounts of investment, but also not in saving, but investing this amount of investments in other solutions that can be used for the future. So yeah, we will organize in the future a series of meetups on national and regional level for entrepreneurs and innovators to share their stories in front of an audience, but also to network on both levels. I hope that this was an interesting event for everybody, and we can collaborate with our partners, with our financial partners, collaborators, and institutions as well. So now I would just jump to Mijan if he has something to say at the end. Mijan?
I would just love to say something related of what you just said. For me, working with for so many years now with a region, whenever I talk for something, for a project or something, I just switched instinctively into region. I cannot think just for Kosovo anymore. And like, it would be nice to expand our project, this one that we have, in a bigger one in Albania and Serbia and Bosnia, Herzegovina and Montenegro, because I see Western Balkan like this, 6 Western Balkan countries, and to find a way how to link everyone in their related field. What do they work and do? Let's think regionally more and more. This is the only way how we can develop. And I would love to thank everyone who participated in one and another way in all this journey, and hopefully we will be the first of some others that will come on the way. Thank you a lot.
Thanks, Mijan. I'm glad to basically. Sorry, just one more thing. I just remembered. It was that we already. I can announce it here because we already signed the memorandum of cooperation with this organization. So from Bosnia and Serbia, and that will happen either way. So just announcing this basically because it was like last week, and I just remembered. But anyways. Thanks to everyone that participated in this event. Thanks for everybody who saw it on Facebook because it was live. Anissa says, thank you for the presentation. It was nice to see you all. Congratulations on your work. Olton said the same. So thank you guys. Without you, it would not have been possible, this research and this project. And hope that we can share it with you in some other times. Anybody else has to say something at the end? Okay, great. Thanks everybody, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you very much.
Thank you.